Hello, welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. My name is Braille. I'm going to wait a moment to let everybody get into the room. As you get into the room, or if you're watching the replay, please take the time to like the video and also leave a comment, especially if you enjoyed the video. I really want to do a better job making sure the algorithm knows that we're here, that we're awoke, and that we're creating content. So I'm going to give it a moment to let everybody get back into the room, and we're going to talk about how marrying provider men can be easy. Okay. The first thing I want to say about this is that marrying a man that provides, remember this, there is no 100% blueprint to marrying a man that provides, because men are still individuals. And it's always important that you know your man at the individual level. Okay. So the things that I'm going to give you today, these are for the majority, but you never know. You may have the exception. You may have the exception to the rule. But make sure that you know him at an individual level so you're able to kind of go with the flow when it comes to this man. So hello Marcel, hello Mina, hello Daisy, welcome in. But remember, they're all different. Okay, so it's important that you know him at an individual level so that you're not trying to apply something that does not apply to him. The very first thing we need to remember is, I'm going to tell you like my grandmother told me back in the day: get your house in order. A lot of women want to marry a provider man, but your house isn't in order. Your house has to be in order because of the energy, the provisions, the resources that a man is going to provide, what he brings to you. Your house needs to be in order. That means you need to be thriving wherever you are. I don't care if you are low income. I don't care if you're high income. I don't care if you travel all the time. I don't care if you visit every country that there is. You need to be thriving wherever or whatever you're currently doing, making sure that your feminine brand is on point. Get your house in order and be ready for marriage. Be ready for this type of man, because these type of men, they don't sit around and wait for you to get ready. They don't sit around and wait for you to make a lot of mistakes. So get your house in order if it isn't in order, and make sure that you're thriving wherever you are, because men don't care about your money. They don't care about your education. They don't care about your resources. Those things are considered to be bonus. They'll be proud of you if you have those things, but that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for you to come to him as a woman, and he comes to you as a man, not coming to you as a woman who doesn't know who she is on a personal level, a woman who understands her own identity. She's thriving wherever she is, even if she isn't doing as well, even if she doesn't have a lot. She's still thriving. She's still happy. She's still fun to be around. She still understands herself as a woman. So get your house in order. If it isn't in order for these type of men, get it in order. Men still care about love. And it's very surprising that we are living now in a time where a lot of women are saying, oh, why do you need to have a man's love? Men still care about that. They legit, I don't want to say legit, because I'm talking about research now. I'm talking about something that has been determined, is that they did research, and they did research among men, and they found out that men still believe in love at first sight. Men still care about love. So if you go on dates and you're jaded, you're talking about marriage is nothing but a business. Yes, we know that, but men still desire love. They still want to be looked at as though they're not an ATM. So you have to be very careful with the language that you're using with these men. If you're one of those who are going on dates talking about, ooh, boo-hoo to love, who cares about love? Nobody's in love. You're going to miss out on an opportunity to be what a man is going to provide, because men that provide and men of influence, they still care about that. They still believe in love at first sight. They still want to be deep, illogical about a woman. They still require that. So don't become jaded. Don't go on dates being jaded. Don't go on dates talking about marriage is a business, even though we understand that marriage has some business undertones. Men don't want to have conversations when they just meet you that marriage is a business. Don't try to change him. He isn't a project. He isn't a Build-A-Bear. Stop trying to change men. If you get to know him and you don't like what you're seeing, then you can get to know someone else. You do not have to be stuck with that person, or you don't have to be with that man if there's something off. Stop trying to change men. Stop trying to build men. Stop trying to make men be the type of men that you want him to be. If you want to marry a man that's a provider and a man that's of influence, these men pretty much know who they are. They know what they want. So you don't want to go in trying to change them or tell them they have to do this and this and that in order to be with you. Don't become entitled while dating. When a woman becomes entitled when dating, she kind of loses her appreciation. She starts to kind of expect things to be a certain way or expect things out of him. Let me give you an example of this. Let's say I literally came across this perfect, I came across a story on TikTok that fits this perfectly. A man, and he was a husband, he decided to send his wife flowers. He signed up for a service for flowers, and then she got on the internet and was saying, I don't know, is it because he's lazy or he doesn't care about me that he's sending out the flowers? I don't even know how to feel about that. Like, the thing is, she got so used to the flowers that the flowers didn't mean anything to her anymore. And the thing is, that's going to mess with the attraction and polarity that they have, because there's no appreciation. Now she's starting to get the flowers and she's like, oh, I'm getting flowers. The flowers have come. So don't get to a place of entitlement or an expectation of this man that you forget appreciation. Men who provide for you, they want to see your pleasure. They want to see your appreciation. They desire it. So if you withhold that, they're going to feel it, and they're going to see that there's something possibly is wrong, and that what they're looking for you, you may not be able to give that to them. Let men have an opinion. I'm not sure. This is the reason why I haven't brought my husband on for an opinion, for his opinions. And I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter. I haven't brought him on for his opinion because my husband has more of a traditional conservative opinion when it comes to men and women. And I know it's going to piss women off. I don't care about my husband's opinions because his opinions absolutely benefit me. Those opinions that he have, they have no influence on the way that he treats me. So the opinion of a man, you have to let him have it. Everybody is deserving of opinion. So you shouldn't get triggered or upset about an opinion as long as the opinion is not changing the way he treats you. Now, if his opinion is starting to affect the way he treats you, that's a whole nother thing. But if he has his opinion and that opinion does not affect you, it's not changing how he treats you, it's not changing how he talks to you, it's not changing how he is a father, how he is a provider, then let that man have an opinion. And as I said in the past, in plenty of videos before, a man's opinion is just that. A man's opinion can be influenced. As the longer you're with that guy, the more influence that you have over him because he respects you. The more he will consider that you have a different opinion, and he may end up changing his opinion. And I'm not saying to look for that or to expect that. I'm just saying that's something that's a byproduct that may happen. I'm not saying going in and trying to change his opinion because you want that influence. Don't do things like that. Don't go in and try to do that. You're just setting yourself up for heartbreak. I'm saying it can happen. It can happen. The longer that you're with him, the more than likely he will be influenced by your opinions and change his own opinions. But don't go in deliberately trying to make that happen. You're just setting yourself up for heartbreak and stress along the way. Stop stressing about marriage. And I know that probably goes against the grain of all the videos I've done. But I'm going to tell you, every human problem has a spiritual solution. The more that you constantly stress about marriage, the more that you repel the very thing that you want. The more that you get what you don't want. The more you're bringing and creating a reality that you don't desire. So don't stress about marriage. It actually is better for you to relax about marriage and to expect it versus to stress about it. The more that you expect it, it's like, all right, it's going to happen eventually. Everything's going to work out. Then it will come to you a whole lot more faster than if you constantly stress about it. Most of the time when I get new people in my space and then onto this page, they're always talking about marriage because I talk about marriage a whole lot. So they get into this frenzy of wanting me to do a lot of content about step-by-step dating, marrying, and all of that. And that's good. That's great. But I don't want to encourage you stressing because I understand the consequences to you stressing. You are still a spiritual being having a human existence. If you stress about something, you will repel it. You will get more of the things that you're stressing about. And I don't want that to happen. So I need to throw that in. I need to make sure women realize I want you to expect it and not stress it. Don't treat men like little boys. The video I posted on my Instagram a couple of days ago made me realize, wow, a lot of women don't end up with provider men based off those comments. A woman had invested in her relationship financially. And a lot of men and women were coming in saying, well, she should just help him find a job, or she should just go and help him get his education, or she should be figuring out how to teach him how to make more money. See, these are all ways that you're teaching men to be little boys, and you're treating them as such. And men don't like being treated like little boys. See, the thing is, when you treat a man like a child, you're going to expect rebellion. I want you to expect rebellion. When you treat a man like a child, expect rebellion, because that's what children do. Even children don't want to be treated like children. Most children want to be treated like an adult. So if you go in and you're like, let me go ahead and fix this man up. Let me go and do his resume. Let me go and find him a job. Let me help him. Let me teach him how to make money. Let him teach him how to be a man. You're treating him like a little boy, and you're killing the attraction that is between you two. He may go along with it if he has some woundedness of his own, if he's used to being women treating him as such, but he will rebel at some point, which means he's going to go to a woman who's going to treat him like a man. And he's going to take everything that you've helped or taught him, and he's going to teach it to another woman so he can be her hero. So be very careful with this mentality. Like I would be happy, ecstatic when this energy dies when it comes to women of treating men like little boys. Now when I posted that video, I realized this is the reason why a lot of women don't get provided for and they get mistreated, because they don't understand that there's a line you're crossing. You're crossing a line when it comes to men. You're treating them like little boys. Like even when it comes down with women, it starts early on too. I'm starting to realize it starts early on that women would treat a man like a little boy. When you start to send out reminders for dates, instead of allowing him to make that first move, you're sending him entire texts or emails or calling him, hey, we got a date on Saturday. It's at 12 p.m. It's at this and such restaurant. Like, that's treating him like a little boy. Like, you shouldn't even want to date a man that you got to give a reminder. He asked you out, I hope, because I know that there's more discussion happening about women asking that man out. I've addressed that 1,000 times of why it's another aspect, another way of women treating men like little boys. Like men don't know what they want, that men can't go after what they want. If you continue to do everything for him, don't be surprised when you get into the commitment relationship, when you got to prod him and you got to sit here and manipulate him to get things done. You're setting yourself up for your own failure. That's the reason why you're in an entire commitment or relationship with the man, and he treats you, you have to treat him like a little boy. You have to be the adult all the time. You have to make things happen and make decisions. That is because of the way you started. If you want, you have to start the way you want to end. Let a man be a man. Don't treat him like a little boy. Don't go in being demanding. Get good at asking instead of demanding. You can ask for what you want. I don't believe in this thing going around where women shouldn't ask for what they want. I believe in asking for what you want. There's 3 ways that I usually give it. Well, 3 different examples I give. But the formula is tell a man what you want, tell him how it would make you feel, and tell him what it provides. And a man will give you what you want. And then also, you don't get to this level of suggesting. I'm trying not to get frustrated with this conversation because of the fact it gets a little old, especially if we keep going over the same things. We're just hammering the same things, telling you the same things over and over and over when it comes to communicating with a man. If you don't understand that formula, like how do you do it? I have so much content on how to do it. There's literally a video on feminine communication. I have all of my courses teach you how to speak to men. All of them do. Even if you were to do the basic, you can literally do the basic with men and men will be okay. Hey, babe, I went over here and I saw this red dress. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's going to look so good on me. I can't wait to wear it for you. Baby, can you go get me that dress? Like that's so easy. You don't even have to do all of the extra. You need to figure out which way works with him, where he's going to hear what you're asking for and he's going to go and do it. Most men will. Most men will go and get the thing that you're asking for them. The thing is, what you can't do, you can't sit around here and hint at it. He can't read your mind. Men cannot read your mind. It's not a good idea to leave things up to chance, especially if you know what you want. Ask for it and let that man go ahead and solve that problem, go get that thing for you. Don't go in demanding it, saying you should get this for me. Why aren't you doing this for me? That's demanding. Men want that space to please you. They want that space to take care of you. And if you don't give them that opportunity, they feel like they lost something. And they're going to go and date a woman who's going to give them that space so they can be that hero and they can show up for that girl. You got to give him that space. Let him lead the relationship. Like, let him send the texts, make the phone calls, make the dates, plan the dates. Let him lead the relationship. Let him show that he's going to lead the relationship and he's able to lead the relationship. You just sit back and learn how to observe and vet to see if this man is the man and is your person, is the type of person that's going to be a good fit to be your husband and to be the father of your children. So let him lead. And like I said before, let him be your hero. Men want to be your hero. They want to take care of you. They want to provide for you. They want to fulfill your needs. They want to know that they want to let you know that they're there for you. Let him do that. It's a part of who a provider is at the core. When you take that away from a provider, that is something missing for him. That is something lacking for him. That is something that he is going to really go find someone who's going to let him do that. Because he wants to be your hero. He wants to come and help you. He wants to come and help you love up your life. He wants to be there for you. He wants to provide for you. He wants to be an asset in your life. He wants to give to you. He wants to add value. Let that man do his job. Stop taking it away. Be vulnerable and share how you feel. Now, I'm not talking about going in here and telling that man everything you done been through. I done been through this. Man cheated on me. He done treated me bad. Men, every time I'm with a man, I give everything I can, and he's not taking care of me. He hasn't done anything for me. Don't do that. That's not vulnerability. That is you telling him what you don't want him to do to you, but that is giving the indicator to him that you're not used to being treated well. So vulnerability is not that. Understand what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is you honestly giving him the ability to feel your emotions and for him to experience them and to give you space so that you can be and you can have that feeling or emotion. Men want to do that for us because they don't get the opportunity to do that for themselves. So they get to have that experience through us. So you want to be vulnerable by just being able to tell a man exactly how you feel about things. Like, I feel uncomfortable. I don't feel good. Right now, I don't feel good enough to actually do that. Can we postpone? Like, oh my gosh, this makes me feel so good. This is so great. I love what you're doing. It's another way to get the approval and desire that you're looking from him. Like, men want to know that they're doing the right thing. And that's another way by a woman actually expressing herself and being vulnerable. But when women try to do everything but be vulnerable, when emotions is something that men eat up like catnip, especially masculine provider men, they love emotion, especially from a woman. They don't want to be with the woman who is RBF and no emotions, or so unbothered she's trying to suppress her emotions to be cool. That's not going to give them the experience that they're looking for. So they do want the vulnerability piece. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up for questions or comments. But marrying a man that's going to provide is very easy when you start putting yourself in proximity, which means you have to get yourself from the cycle of your life. If the cycle of your life is going to work and going home, going to work and going home, then you need to get out and about. It's time for you to get out and about. Maybe start having some more hobbies. Maybe start going to meetups. Maybe start getting online and doing some online dating. But you need to get out of your cycle if the same cycle you've been doing has not been reaping any kind of results of meeting men that's going to provide. If you're in the same environment and that environment isn't working, now it's time to try something new. Maybe the environment that you're constantly engaging with in is not the right environment. Maybe you've been going into the wrong places. I am definitely going to be, for members, I'm going to be adding 42 places that you can meet men into the membership. It's legit 42 places that are from the high end, if you have a lot of money that you want to invest to go to these places, to the low end where you're like, I'm not there yet where I can go to these high end places, but I want to go places. I want to try new things, especially if you're interested in new hobbies. Because I've been looking, I realized there's not any new information when it comes to meet men out there. But I'm going to say what I've said before in the very beginning. You can meet men anywhere. You can meet high quality men of influence anywhere, as long as you're going out of your home and you're actually doing more than just going home into work. There's so many places that you can do. Aviation clubs, that's a freebie. Even though that's on that list, that's a freebie. Aviation clubs. Some of you girls who are like interested in flying, or you want to fly, or you want to get some lessons. That's the more high end, like aviation clubs. But there's a place for all of the places where women may be financially. That's going to be on that list. I'm going to place it in membership because I wanted to give women who are actively dating places that you can go and meet men of influence, and or start a new hobby so you can meet more people that can become proximity, so you can have a bigger wide range of being able to meet those men. Because some of us, it's not going to just be going to places. Some of you all need to use your friends and family and let them know that you are dating, so that they can kind of be like, oh, do you know so-and-so? I know a guy, he works in my office and he doesn't have a wife and he has everything together. He's right up your alley. Do you want to come to maybe one of our functions at work so that you can possibly meet him? Oh, absolutely. What day is it? What time? So I can be there. Some of you need to expand your circle so that you have more proximity to meeting these type of men. And some of you need to go and get into certain hobbies where you're going to meet even more men of influence. So I'm going to put that in membership. I think I have it available for women to get to. It's not, trust me, it's not expensive, because it's just places for women can go to meet men. And it ranges from high end to low end places where you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just go and you can get in and you can meet the type of men that you're looking to meet. But if you want to marry that provider, you're going to have to check your brand, check your branding, especially if men have been approaching you. Check your branding. Also, make sure that you're giving the signs and signals that you want to be approached. We live in a time now that men they have to deal with the consequences of other men's bad behavior. So now a lot of men are like, well, I'm not going to deal with it, so I'm not going to approach a woman, even if I'm eyeing her, even if I'm looking her up and down. I'm not going to go towards her. And you need to be able to put those signs and signals that you're approachable, that you want men to come and approach you. And then also being by yourself, breaking away from the crowd. If you go out to dinner with your friends, you need to be breaking away from them at least once or twice during the night or the evening, so that you can be by yourself. Give them the opportunity to approach you, because a lot of men are not trying to approach when there's a whole group of women. So give those signs and signals that you want to be approached. If you're open and you're expecting to get married, you got to put yourself in position. You got to put yourself in proximity. You can't sit inside your living room and hope and pray for a guy, but then you're not putting yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Date online. Try new hobbies. Let people know that you want to be married. Let people know that you want to be married, because I guarantee you spread the word about wanting to get married, a lot of your friends and family will start being on the lookout, and they might start bringing you places so that you can meet new people and give you those opportunities. Don't treat men like little boys. We have to let go of that energy. Like I said, I would be so ecstatic when women stop doing that. Stop listening to the men on social media who are telling you got to go help a man get a job or do his resume, or you got to do all these things to build a man up. You do not. Those men that you have to do that, be prepared for them to rebel, because even children rebel when you treat them like children. I've raised 4 children, and none of the children wanted to be treated like children. All of them wanted to be treated like adults. They wanted to make decisions like adults. They wanted to act like adults. They were interested in being in adult business. So why would you ever think that a man wanted to be treated like a child? The men who are open to being treated like a child, that's only temporary. When he gets his ish together, he's going to be looking for a woman who's going to treat him like a man and make him feel like a man. So you want to get away from this treating a man like a little boy. And it starts very early on. If he doesn't send you a reminder for a date, then guess what? There is no date. It's just that simple. He doesn't want to go on a date with you. So don't send him a reminder. Don't jump on social media and tell him that he's missing out. Don't do any of these weird things I'm seeing women do. Don't send him that long text about why he didn't, why did he ghost you? If he ghosted you, he's not into you. It's just that easy. Let the dead stay dead. You don't have why are we concerning ourselves about a man ghosting us? If a man ghosts us, he wasn't interested enough to go on a date with us, then we shouldn't be concerned about him. We should be moving on to somebody who is. That's why you won't never see me do a video on why did that man ghost you. He ghosted you because he don't like you. It's just that simple. Let him lead. I know that there's still a debate going on. Should you approach me or not? I'm going to tell you, like I said, a lot of the things I talk about comes from not only personal experience, but also I've been able to look it up and get scientific backing on all the things I teach to realize that it is facts when it comes to men. Men do not want to be led around by a woman. They like being influenced by us, but they don't want to be led around by us. So you let him lead, let him make the decisions about going on dates with you. Let him decide the places. You can put your input in. I don't agree that you have to go wherever he's wanting to take you. I think it's okay for you to say, oh my gosh, you know that there's a beautiful, I just passed this great restaurant that just opened up. It has some great Thai food. I have been dying for some Thai food. I would love to try that restaurant. What do you think? Simple. Let him know about the restaurants that you're interested in. There's nothing wrong if he asks you a simple question of, what would you like to do? What do you like? What do you like? Let him know what you like so that he can get it right. The reason why he's asking you what do you like, because he wants to get it right. I think one of the things that has to happen for women has to start believing that men want to provide and take care of us, and they want to treat us well. Everything that they're doing is trying to make sure that you're good. When you have that belief, it works out. It works out. All right, so if I don't see any comments or any questions, I'm going to get ready. We're going to close out really early this morning. Well, is it morning? It's evening. It's like 1:44. But you can make marrying a provider very easy when you start changing your belief system. Your belief system affects your perception and perspective, and that affects how you see the world, and it also affects what you allow. And so when you have that belief that a man is only coming in to actually take care of you and provide for you, and he wants your approval, he wants to take care of you, he wants to make sure everything is good with you, you will find more, you will bring more men in like that versus the other men. That's the reason why we don't focus on the men that don't. Because the men that don't, they won't, and we're not going to be focusing on them. We're going to focus in on the men that will, that want to, that desire to do so. You can make it easy by just making sure your beliefs are in order. That's where I said, get your house in order. Make sure your house is in order. Make sure your belief system is in order, that your feminine brand is branding, that you're thriving wherever you are in life. And you will make marrying and dating providers very easy. It doesn't take as much as what I am seeing. Dating men that provide for you are very easy. It's not hard at all. And I guess that's another thing that aligns with my belief system. And that's the reason why it's always been easy. These were such great tips and very easy to implement. Literally do less. Literally do less. Your experience becomes what it is. If you believe your experience is going to be hard and you got to, let me tell you this. Let me tell you something that I think needs to be taught across the board. Your experience with men become your experience in life. And what I mean by that, if you truly do believe that you have to lose weight, that you have to be put in the right place, that you have to level up, that you have to speak properly, that you have to wear certain things, that is what you're going to have to do in order to meet provider men. If you go in and you tweak your belief system and you say provider men are easy for me, they love me, and it's easy to date them, that is going to be your experience with them. Do you get it? Some of us are making it hard, and it's not hard. Men want to provide for you. They love you. That's the reason why even when it comes to social media, if I had this mentality that all men hate me, that all men are going to reject providing, that all men are going to want to argue, or that all men are sassy, guess what I'm going to experience in life? I'm going to experience those men. Since I believe that most men are good and they want to provide for me, they care about me as a woman, they want to make sure they take care of me, they want to make sure they give me resources and provision. That is what I experience. Even when it comes to social media, I don't get that many hate comments from men. And I talk about providing all the time. If you actually look at a lot of my content, most of my content that's like promoted on my page is men that provide. Why don't I have a bunch of angry men in my comment section? Because I always believe that men are wanting to take care of me. So the men that want to take care of me, they're going to want to support me. They're going to like my content, and they're going to want to be a good man. So you have to really adjust your belief system. And I know some of you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that it's hard. It's not. It's going to be hard as you make it. If you believe that you're lacking in something, that's what you're going to take care of, because that's how you're creating your reality to be. So if you believe that it's hard to meet provider men, that men don't want to provide for women, that men are horrible people, that men don't take care of women, that men don't like women, that is what you're going to experience. You create the reality that you're currently experiencing. If you check your beliefs and get your house in order, you have a whole lot easier when it comes to dating men that want to provide. That's the reason why I don't really have a lot of men that come over in my space. You talk nasty or leave nasty comments. But they be in other people's spaces. Why? I want you to think about that, because we create our reality. You're co-creating with God every single day, and you don't even know it. If you want your experiences to be easy, you have to let it be easy. You have to know it's going to be easy. The more requirements that you put on yourself to be able to date provider men, those are the requirements you will have to create your reality. I give you things that you can do to make it easy, because I want this to start being a part of your psyche and a part of your beliefs, so that you can have it easy to date provider men. Because actually, provider men want to provide. They want to be there for women. A lot of times they have to. I think I had a comment recently that came in talking about, oh, we just love you. And that was from men that provide. They follow this page also. I have men that follow this page, and they always come in and say, hey, we just love the content. But I talk about providing all the time. But if you would look at the consensus and on social media and the content that's trending and the content that goes viral, they will have you persuaded that men don't provide for women and that men hate providing for women. And it's not true. Really encouraging to not have to try to memorize a bunch of strategy, tricks, and scripts. That just never felt right. The reason why women are there now, because they have a belief that the only way that they're going to get their needs fulfilled if they're manipulative. And see, I don't believe that. Well, like I said, your experience is connected to you, what you truly believe anyway, since you're creating reality from every step of the way. I don't believe that I have to be manipulative to get what I want. That's the reason why I don't really talk about manipulation. I don't have to. It has nothing about me being a good person. Y'all need to quit that. Y'all should know I don't even believe in that also, because I know no one is all good and no one is all bad. So it's not me being a good person that I don't use manipulation. It's because along my beliefs are my experience, and that's why I create my reality. I truly do believe I can get what I want without any type of manipulation. I don't have to manipulate anything. Only thing I have to do is have a belief that aligns with what I want, and I can have it. So that's the reason why I don't lean towards a lot of scripts. Every time that I have been told that I need more scripts or I need to have more things on my page, I'm like, you don't need all of that. The reason why you think you need all that is because somewhere along the lines you have a belief that says that. And so you're gonna act out whatever you believe. So if you believe the only way I'm gonna get my needs met and I have to be very manipulative, that's how you're gonna get your needs met. That's how you're gonna get your needs met with the man. If you believe that I have to be super submissive and I have to lay down on the ground for a man to take care of me, that's how you're going to get things done. If you believe that men don't provide and I have to at least give half, that's how I'm going to get things done. That is what you believe, and that's how you're going to go about it. If you believe that things are easy, then guess what? Your life gets to be easy. You make things easy because you believe it's going to be easy, and that becomes your experience, and that's what you create. I keep telling you all, it's not about me being a good person. It's about me being very lazy to a certain degree and be very cautious and of my energy and what I'm putting out. I think that came along the lines of when I was sick, I learned a lot about me putting out my energy and how it affects and how much energy I need to accomplish this and how much energy I need to be in this, or much energy I need to create. And so I'm very cautious of that. And if people think that means I'm lazy, it just means I want you to realize I'm using my energy to heal. That's what I'm doing. So I figured out I need to make things easy. My belief system needs to be it's all easy because I need my energy for me. I need my energy to heal my body. I need my energy to keep my beauty. I need my energy to be able to be there so that I can make that connection to the spiritual realm. I need my energy for me. I need my energy more for myself than I need it to give it to a guy. And since I need that for myself, I have to have a belief system that everything is easy. I refuse to make things hard just because social media says it's hard. It's not. Nothing's hard. Everything is easy. Because I refuse to experience the hard just because social media says that it's hard. So thankful you show up for us. Really appreciate your voice. Thank you so much, Daisy B. Thank you all, because you all are the reason that I continue to show up. You already know. If it wasn't for my tribe starting to come in my community so I could be of service, I had a plan. At a certain point, I was going to let it be. And I was going to go back to the drawing board and not continue on social media. The social media, I never imagined myself being on social media. It blows my mind every time I think about you are on social media. You have videos up on social media. You talk live on social media all the time. So I appreciate that so much. but make things easy. The more that you make it hard, the more the hard you experience. You're creating and you don't even know it. You're creating through your trauma, you're creating through your past, you're creating and you're making things hard for you. If you would change your belief system and make it easy, you're going to start to run into providers. Then once you run into providers, then you can start implementing a lot of things I put on my page. Then you can start, oh, let me go ahead and let him lead. I don't want to sit here and lead, especially if you don't desire to lead now. Then you let him lead, let him make the dates, let him plan for you. Let him be a man instead of a little boy. Like, I cannot wait until that time ends because I don't like this period of time that we have now where we're treating men like little boys. Men are not little boys. They had the same amount of years that you did. But here you are over here saying, oh my gosh, oh, he had such a bad childhood. Let me go and do his resume. He had such a bad childhood. Let me go ahead and teach him how to make money. He had such a bad childhood. I just want to coddle him. I just want to love all over him. Only reason you're doing that because you wanted somebody to do it for you. And no one did. So instead of giving that energy back to yourself, you're giving it to a man. You're giving it to a man. And like all men that are treated like little boys, they rebel. And since they rebel, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of a man that's rebelling. When you could have just stayed in your feminine and just let him do those things that he is supposed to do for himself. You could have just did that, but you didn't. And this reason why I said every time I post a video on Instagram, I swear I get an understanding more of why women are where they are, why women don't get provided for, why women aren't getting the type of life and happiness that they want when it comes to men. Because if you start treating them like little boys, don't be surprised when you start rebelling against that treatment. Most women don't even like when they when I say, I think I had a video, I said, hey, sometimes you can be confused. I think I called it a charming bimbo. Y'all remember those videos? Y'all remember charming bimbo? I said sometimes you can just be charming and just be a bimbo and just be confused and just let things happen, let people take care of you. And women got offended. They got offended by that. See, oh, you're setting us back. You're setting us back. We're not small children. You're not little girls anymore. And you already know that wasn't the thing. But just from that, you already can tell that if you don't like being treated like a little girl, why would you think he liked being treated like a little boy? Because even when you're charming and you're confused and you're letting people take care of you, you're still doing it in a way that a woman does. You're not doing it in a way where you're a little girl and he has to take care of everything. See, no man won't. That's the reason I say get your house in order. Get your house in order, because men don't want to come in and have to be your father to a little girl. They don't like that dynamic. That makes them feel icky. They still want you to be a woman, a grown woman that is thriving wherever she is or whatever she's currently doing. You can be charming. You can be confused. You can just let yourself be taken care of, but you can still do it in a way that a woman does. I do it all the time. My husband, he's the type of guy that he loves kind of like teach me new things. He loves that. If he can explain something, when I tell you he's in his element, when he gets to explain something, I let him do that. He'll say something that I kind of didn't get. And I was like, you know what? I don't get it. And I don't feel there's nothing wrong with not getting it. It doesn't make you a little girl because you don't get something. It doesn't make you a, somebody who just can't take care of themselves because you don't get something. I'll be like, I don't get it. And he'll just break it down and he'll just teach it. When I tell you, he loves it. Men love doing that. That's the reason why I said that's also a sign of vulnerability. Being able to say, hey, I don't understand this. Like, I really don't get it. Versus trying to be a know-it-all and trying to act like you know something when you don't know it. You don't know it. You all know I was a former teacher. And you will have teenagers come in and they'll feel ashamed of not knowing something. And I would tell them, there's never a dumb question. There's never a dumb question. Just a person who doesn't ask the question. So don't ever be scared of asking a question or letting a person know that you don't understand. That's a vulnerable place to be in. When you can admit that you don't understand and you don't get it, that's a vulnerable place to be in. Some women can't admit that. They feel like it takes away something in them if they have to admit, I don't understand. I don't get it. Men eat that stuff up. They love it. Especially men who provide, they love it. They love, and you don't even have to fake it. Trust me, there's gonna be some things he talk about that you're not gonna get. And there's nothing wrong with you saying, well, I don't get it. Like, like, what do you mean? I don't understand. And he will explain it to you. And you will learn a lot from these type of men. If you just be vulnerable enough to be able to say you don't get it and you don't understand. And usually what I call it my charming bimbo. And that offended a lot of women. Like, we live in a time where everybody gets offended very easily. I didn't think it was offensive. I thought it was just, hey, I don't understand. It was about teaching women to be vulnerable sometimes. Sometimes you need to be. Sometimes you don't get it. There's nothing wrong with not getting it. Because just imagine you have this mentality, or you have this mentality of that you can't ever not get something, and kids pick this up too. Now, I would love for women to teach their children that it's okay not to know something and it's okay to ask for help, because when they get into the classroom, they are so scared to ask for help. They're scared to get the help that they need. And that's a sign of vulnerability. You want to teach them to be vulnerable when needed. This helps with emotional intelligence. Get your emotions under control. Get your house under control. Get your house right. Your emotions are for you. They're your level up. Don't put your emotions off on other people. Your emotions are insight into your level up and the things that you need to focus in on and the things that you need for yourself. Once you have processed your emotions, then it's okay to verbalize them. But don't do that before you've processed them, because then you may end up being like, oh, you make me feel. No one has the power to make you feel anything. You did this, so this made me feel this way. No one has that power. And if anyone has that power, they have too much power over you. So get your emotions under control while you're dating these men that will provide for you. They love to feel your emotions, but they love to feel the emotions when you have worked through them versus when you're trying to toss them off on him because you don't want to accept them or you don't want to acknowledge them. Men love, they love, give you that space to have the emotions. So the girlies who are like, oh, I don't want to show any emotions, I don't want to show that I have any feelings, you're going to turn off men that want to provide for you, because they love women who have feelings. They love women who have emotions. They love to give women that space. When you start acting like them, they see a peer. You're their peer now. You're like another man to them. Men absolutely appreciate the differences between men and women. They love it. They love the fact that women are somewhat, sometimes women can be logical and emotional. They love the fact that, we care about our beauty. They love the fact that we can be nurturing. They love the fact that we communicate. They love these little differences about us. But the thing is, a lot of advice today is taking it away from men, so they don't get to experience it. Hey, Joy. So if you want to marry a provider and you want to make it easy, first believe that it's going to be easy. Don't create a horrible experience for yourself. And that may take you doing a lot of inner work, turning away from these platforms that encourage you something differently. If you want to start programming yourself to believe that it's easy, you need to stay in spaces that encourage it being easy. So you can program yourself, it's going to be easy. All right, so I don't have any other additions to this. I have tons and tons of content about men who provide. I talk about making a man feel, uh, making him feel, because men need to be illogical about you. A man being illogical about you, it just means that he sees you and he feels that he's never going to come across a woman like you ever. That's all he needs. He needs to feel that deeply about you. And making sure that he has values that you like, that you share, not like share, you share the same values. That's going to be important also. You want to make sure that you're with a guy that's going to share the same values. You don't want a guy that's still in like, I want to party, I want to go out, and you want to be at home. You want to make sure you share the same values. He loves family, you love family. He loves going out, you love going out. Or he loves staying in, you like staying in. Y'all need to value the same things. Values is what's going to carry you through a marriage. So he comes across this woman who has her house in order. She's thriving wherever she is. She's feminine, okay? She shares the same values, and she just makes him feel so good. You have a higher chance of this man proposing to you than if there's something else different than that. So if we don't have anything else to add or any more questions, we're going to get ready to close out the live stream. But I appreciate you ladies for being here. Make sure you take time to like the video. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and drop a comment down. Let the algorithm know that we're here. I appreciate you ladies who are dropping a comment after the replay, even though you've been in the live stream. I appreciate you so much for doing that, because some of you come back and just watch the video again. I love you for that. That definitely helps the algorithm know that we're here. So I don't see any other comments or any other questions. I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. Let you all have a wonderful, happy Monday. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.